Many consider the jewel in Portugal's crown to be its capital, Lisbon, known for its light and beauty and also its excellent all-year-round climate. It is a city steeped in heritage with a host of architectural treasures and has buildings that date from the 15th and 16th century, the period when the Portuguese were the great explorers sailing out to discover new worlds both east and west. Today, more importantly for me, is Portugal's centre for gastronomy. So, when in Lisbon, do as the Lisboans do. So, Patricia, you're going to take me through the average Lisbon meal pattern, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to start off with a mid-morning snack.
Yes.
So where are you going to take me?
Confeitaria de Belém,
Right.
here, where we can have a breakfast with a pastel de Belém and a nice bica.
Sounds interesting.
Let's go.
And this is bica, that I was promised. Look at that, it's a very small coffee. It's very aromatic. And it's strong. Great caffeine kick. It's not bitter, it's rich, it's beautifully roasted. Is there a little bit of history behind this coffee, this small bica?
Yeah, everybody in Lisbon asks for a bica when they come to a coffee on bica in the morning, bica after lunch, bica during the afternoon.
And it keeps
Always
everyone
a bica.
going.
Yeah.
No milk.
No milk.
No room for it.
No.
It's very good. Now, what are you going to recommend I eat with
Pastel
this?
de Belém.
This is pastel de Belém.
Yes.
Yep. Little tiny tarts, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're dusted with what are they called?
Cinnamon and sugar.
Right. Okay. The pastry is absolutely stunning. It's very, very thin. Difficult to describe. Probably a mixture between phyllo pastry and puff pastry, but really, really thinly laid out. In the centre, we've got a very rich custard, very tasty. The cinnamon on the top, and it's served warm. Is it always served warm?
Yes, yes.
And what sort of history have we got with this?
This has a secret behind this.
Right.
Only 3 people here know the secret. And this is made in a special room they call the secrets room.
How many do they make by hand?
10,000 per day.
10,000 per day.
Yes. And during the weekends, sometimes you do 18,000.
That's a heck of a
Yeah.
lot. How do they cook them? They bake them up in the oven?
First they do the cream,
Yeah.
and they do the pastry, and then it goes to the fridge.
Yeah. And then put it in the oven to finish off. What sort of date do these go back to?
This was open 1837.
1837.
Yes.
So it's history, it's handmade,
Yeah.
and believe you me, they're absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
There's only one
Lovely.
each.
Yeah, you have to do it's 2, 1 for each leg.
Sounds good enough to me. Well, from having a lovely breakfast, I've been brought to a lovely restaurant. Whereabouts have you brought me, Patricia?
This is a charcuteria restaurant. It's located in Bairro Alto.
Bairro Alto.
Yes.
Now, it's only, what, 10 minutes away from where we had breakfast?
Yes, from
What
Belém.
region was that? That was the
Belém.
Belém region.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about the restaurant itself.
This is one of the most trendiest restaurants in Lisbon.
Right, and what
Yes.
sort of people come to it? Thank you.
The Prime Minister,
Right.
ministers from the government,
Yeah.
and famous people from Portugal, like the porcelains that you see here.
Right.
The owner come here
And that
as
makes
well.
it trendy, does it?
Yeah.
Even more trendy now. Now, we've got a dish put in front of
Yes.
us. What do we have?
This is black pork
The
from
black pork.
Alentejo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Alentejo is famous for its cork as well.
Yes.
Is it true
is.
that the pigs actually forage around
Yes.
underneath the trees?
Yes, they
And that gives it a special flavour as well?
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, it's time to taste.
Let's-
I've got a piece off just here. Now, as you look at the dish, there's quite a lot of liquid here. There's quite a considerable amount of oil, and it's a nice colour. First thing that comes to the palate is relatively salty, isn't it?
Yes.
Not overly salty, but highly seasoned. You wouldn't need to season any more of this. It's basically been fried, edging on deep fried, in a good amount of oil there. We've got peppers, a puree of pepper which has gone into the dish as well, and it's very tasty. But from one pork to another, because I've got dinner to come very shortly, haven't I?
Yes, you
And
have.
that'll be a surprise for me, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well, I've had a breakfast, I've had lunch, and quite frankly, I'm ready for a digestive. So, where have you brought me?
I've brought you to the smallest bar in Lisbon, where
Yeah.
we can have a very special drink.
Special drink sounds good to me. After you. So, what's special about this?
This is a special drink from Lisbon, introduced by a Galician man, a man from Spain,
From Spain,
north, yes. And he was advised by a monk, local monk from
Yeah.
Lisbon, to put the cherries in brandy, fermenting them, and adding water, sugar, and cinnamon.
Sounds exotic.
Yes, and it was a success immediately because it was a drink that it was cheap, sweet, and all people from Lisbon come here to drink.
Right, okay, so proof in the pudding. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
They also call this firewater, don't they?
Yeah.
24%. It is sweet. There is hints of cinnamon. You can't really taste the cherries. This will just do me a treat just before dinner. Not that bad. Patricia, I've tasted Lisbon by day. I'm about to taste it by night. Where have you brought me?
I've brought you to a unique place in Lisbon called Chafariz do Vinho.
Right.
But the best person to speak about this place is the owner, João Paulo, who is coming to join us.
Excellent.
Here
Hello,
is-
Joan.
Hello.
How you doing? Nice to see you.
Hola.
Tell us
Hola.
a little bit about this place.
So this is an old building that was built in 19th century, and it was used to deliver water to the city.
Yeah.
And it was closed for several decades. And 2 years ago, the water company of Lisbon and the Câmara Municipal, which we say in Portuguese, the town hall,
Yes.
they joined together to change this place in a wine bar. We call Enoteca.
What does that enoteca mean?
For us, the Enoteca is a place where someone who is a wine lover can taste wines, can have in a meal several different wines. So it's a kind of bibliothèque. So
it's a library.
It's a library. We don't have books, but we have wines.
So what are the names of these 4 dishes here?
We have the Portuguese sausage, then we have a salad of mussels. We have what we call in Portuguese cabeça de chara, which is pig's head, and we had also Portuguese black sausage with rice.
Well, they all sound fantastic. But before we tuck in, I would like to say thank you to you for an absolutely superb culinary tour of Lisbon, both by day and by night.
Thank you.
And I would also like to thank you for your hospitality this evening, and I'd like to raise a toast to you at home. Take care. Cheers.
Cheers.